the live demo, so welcome. I'm Jacob with the Office Shop. I'll be doing the live demo today, and Josh will be our camera guy. So thanks for allowing us to do this with everything that's going on. I hope this works for you. If you guys have questions during the live demo, feel free to put them in the chat, and we'll do our best to answer those at the end of the demo. So to start, we'll kind of start with the outside of the device, and then we'll work our way into the functions of the device. And then, like I said, yeah, if you guys have questions, put them in the live chat, and we'll try to answer those at the end of the demo. So, all right, guys, we'll start with the dock feeder. Dock feeder, everything's face up. You do have your guides here with fill lines. You'll have a fill line for 11 by 17 and legal, and a fill for letter as well. So, and again, everything goes face up just like that. Adjust your guides to fit the paper, so everything is straight going in. Again, remember, don't feed staples, paper clips, things like that. So that's stuff you guys know. And a lot of this stuff that as we go through the demo, you guys will have seen before. It's just kind of reiterating it, I guess, and going from there. So in your dock feeder, it is a dual scan dock feeder. So what that means is as you feed the paper through, as it goes through, it'll scan both sides of the sheet in a single pass. So if you guys do a lot of duplexing, it's just going to go through one time. It'll scan both sides. It will not pull it back through. So with that, there is two slit glasses that you guys will have to clean. Your guys' reg is right here. So when you guys open up, if you guys start getting like a line through your page or anything like that, sometimes there'll be like a speck of ink or something that has come to this slit glass here. You guys will need to wipe that down. So if you just take this rag and kind of get in there and get that slit glass cleaned, and then on the back side, your glass for scanning the back side is actually right here. You guys will see it if you open up the dock feeder. If you just look down in the crack there, there's a slit glass down there, and that actually scans the back side of the document. And again, guys, everything that's blue within the copier, so if you guys get jams or anything that you guys need to back out, there is a wheel here that's blue that you guys can touch to get things out. So, and other than that, you guys can pull them out this way if there's any jams in the dock feeder. So that's your guys' dock feeder. And then we'll move down to the finisher from there. So your guys' finisher, this is internal. And I know most of you guys have internal finishers. There are some with external, but the staples and everything will be very similar as far as loading and stuff like that. So if you have the internal, it does slide out like this, and then your staples are actually right here. So this is your staple cartridge. To load your staples, this whole plastic piece comes out. So as soon as your staples run out, this just pulls out, and you'll slide the new plastic case back in with fresh staples. And as long as you follow the arrows will be pointing up. So when you guys load this, you'll just need to make sure that those arrows are pointing up, and then you guys should be good to go. And then it just clicks right back in that little carrier, and you're good to go. There are instructions in here on the inside of the inner finisher. If you guys get to where it's, you're down the road during the year and you can't remember, there are instructions right inside the inner finisher. So, and you guys can do your stapling, anything you guys want to do as far as offsetting, things like that with your finisher. So next we'll move down to the toners. So your guys' toners will actually be right here. So this toner system, these toners actually have an auger on them. So as you change them out, you can't just open this and shake it like you used to on the old ones and put it back in. These open up as you change them. And this will walk you through on the screen how to do that. So as you do it, you'll open these up and change the color that needs to be changed. And with that, with your black toner, that black toner is also your waste toner. So as you change your black, it's very important that you take that black toner and it will replace your waste toner, which is right here. So as you do that, this is what the toners will look like as well. So they've got that auger system on them. So remember, as you change your black toner, to take the black toner and actually slide it into the waste toner slot and close it, and that will be your waste toner. Now, if you do forget to do that, that's not a big thing. We'll get you a waste toner out right away so that you guys aren't down, anything like that. Also, with your toners and your waste toners, everything will ship out automatically. So with your toners, they will send out automatically at 30%. So when you guys get to 30%, one will just show up in the mail, and that'll just kind of let you know that it's ready, getting ready, close to changing. So just so you guys are aware of that, you won't need to change it when it comes, but when the time comes to do it, you'll have it and be ready. So next we'll go through the cassettes. Your first cassette is right here. It is a little bit smaller cassette just because of the waste toner. But what's nice about Kyocera, with their first cassette, they made it so that it'll also hold legal size sheets. So you can hold letter and legal in this tray. If you guys want to, you slide this all the way back just like that, and it snaps down just like that inside the tray. And then if you wanted to put legal in here, you would just flip your legal in there and slide that in. Again, guys, remember to push the blue tabs. If you don't, you might hear little grinding in there. So remember, push the blue tab when you're moving these. They just slide a lot smoother. But so whatever size you want to set that first cassette for, you sure can do letter or legal. And then the next cassette, you can run up to 12 by 18. And same thing, guys, this slides back, snaps down if you're going to put that 12 by 18 in. I'm sure a lot of you don't run that size, but 11 by 17 is probably the more common that you'll run. But again, you can change this cassette to whatever you'd like it to be. And then I know a lot of you got the high capacity cassette feed unit, and they will hold 1,500 sheets each. So you're talking 3 reams in each side. So you guys can load those up. And I think most of the machines at Natrona schools had the high capacity cassettes. And some of you also had the paper deck unit, which goes off to the right side. It will load very similar to these. I think it actually holds 3,000 sheets. So when you're loading that, it's going to hold 6 reams for those of you that do have it. And it does take up extra space on the outside of the machine on that right side, so you'll know if you do have it or not. And I think we stuck it on more of the high volume devices. But anyway, so those are your cassettes. Now we'll move to your multi-purpose tray. So through your multi-purpose tray, this is where you will want to run more of your cardstock, more of your labels, anything that's going to be heavier and outside of the normal, you'll want to run through your multi-purpose tray. So when you take your documents and you put them in the multi-purpose tray, you are going to get a message on the screen, and it'll say change, or if it's okay. If it's just plain paper, you can just hit OK. But if you need to make a change, you can hit change, and then you can actually change the media within the multi-purpose tray. So if you go to multi-purpose tray, you can change the media type, and that's where you can select if you have envelopes, letterhead, pre-punched, cardstock, anything out of that normal, vellum, labels. So what's important about this is, guys, the fuser will adjust to what is actually in the multi-purpose tray. So if you put plain paper in for envelopes, they might not come out looking the way you want them to look, just because that fuser is not getting hot enough to actually fuse the toner to those labels. So that's why it's important that you select the labels. You know, if you're going to feed that, you want to make sure that you are selecting labels so that that fuser can adjust to the media that's actually in the device. So guys, that's your multi-purpose tray. And those are the kind of the important things, is the media that's going through it. And of course the size of paper, it'll adjust to what you guys put in. So that's your multi-purpose tray. And then we can kind of move on to jams and things that will be, if you guys start getting jams because feed rollers are wearing out, things like that, it's going to happen. Down the road, things are going to start wearing, and you guys will have to give us a call. But if you have to remove jams, maybe if a paper is sitting funny in the cassettes or something like that, or if there's a rough page within the stack of paper that maybe you didn't catch, you will have to remove a jam. So on this side, there's a handle right here. This opens up the full side of the device. So, and you'll be able to see everything down in there, and it'll let you know where the jam is, just like the machines you've had in the past. You guys have probably seen it before. Everything that's blue, you can touch. So everything that's blue. If there's a jam that's really deep in there, guys, don't pull, don't try to get it. Just give us a call. If it's something you can't get to, you know, don't use a screwdriver or pliers. Give us a call, and we'll show up as fast as we can. We've got guys in Casper, so you guys will always be taken care of. But again, anything that's blue you can touch, but try not to dig any deeper than that. There is also a drawer on the bottom. This opens to your high capacity cassettes. So if something was sitting funny in your high capacity cassettes, this is the drawer that would open to access that. And it will probably make you, so if it jams up here, it's probably going to make you open this bottom cassette anyway, because there'll just be a loose page sitting in there. So you guys will probably have to do that. But guys, that's basically the outside of this device. If you guys have any questions outside of that, just let us know. But right now we'll dive into the functions of the device. And if you guys have any questions as we're doing that, feel free to post them on the live chat. But we'll jump right into the screen here, and we'll jump right into copy, which you guys are used to. I mean, a lot of the stuff you're going to see is going to be very similar. But if we jump into the copy screen here, you'll see paper selection. So it's set for auto right now. It's going to auto recognize what you're feeding through the dock feeder, what you're putting through the glass. But if you guys have that special paper that you're wanting to put something on, you guys can go into paper selection. You guys can select multi-purpose tray, letter, legal, any of the cassettes that maybe you have put your paper in. You guys can go to paper selection. And then of course you've got zoom. You guys have probably messed with that on a lot of copiers. So if you need to bump up the size on something, you guys can do that. Auto color. So you guys that have color machines out there, your machine will be set for black and white standard. We made that so it was a default black and white, and the reason for that is to save money. So you guys don't want to run color if you don't need it. That's kind of the big thing. So if you guys see that color selection, it'll be set black and white default, but if you guys go in there, you can set it for auto. And what auto will do is it'll take the pages you want color, and if there's pages behind it that are black and white, it'll make them black and white. But so I would recommend auto, and there is full color also. So your duplexing will be right here. You guys are used to that too. Your 1 to 2, your 2 to 2, and then your 2 to 1. So you guys will have those options, and that is something you guys, I'm sure, are used to doing. And then combine, that's your 2-on-1, your 4-on-1. So if you guys want to take 2 letter size sheets, shrink them down and put them onto one sheet, you guys have the ability to do that. And then staple, of course, you guys all have most of you have the inner finishers, most of you have some of you have the external finishers. But you guys can do the same thing with either. So you can go staple in the top left corner, or you can do double staple if you want. It's there as well. If you go single staple, you guys do have the option of telling it where you want the staples to be. So if for some reason you want it in the top right corner, top left corner, you guys have the ability to do that, especially with the double-sided. If you're making like a booklet or packet or something like that, you guys can do that. So, and then down at the bottom in the copy screens, you'll see the tabs at the bottom. That will get you into additional finishing options. So if you go in there, you'll see paper selection again, and then again, some of these will repeat, guys, that you see on the front page. They'll repeat again, like paper selection. Mixed originals is a big one. That's if you have like letter and legal and you want to feed them together through the dock feeder. It will auto recognize the sizes that's coming through the dock feeder, and they'll come out that way. As long as you let it know that it's mixed originals, and they're the same width of page, you'll be able to feed them at the same time, and they'll come out in that order. Collate is always on. And then color image quality. There's a lot of adjustments that you can make here. A lot of this stuff you guys probably won't use a lot, but there is some color adjustments in here that you can make if you guys have a color device out there and you need to make some adjustments. On the black and whites, you guys won't use it a lot, but if you have a color and you're looking at doing a photo and you want to mess with some things, you guys have the ability to do that. Layout, again, you're going to see some repetitive things here with zoom. You can adjust some margin, you can do page numbering, things like that within the layout and edit. And those are some things that you guys will have to go through and kind of mess with and see if you would use them. But when you do click on them, they will give you a kind of a description of what they do. And it would be good just to see if, and a lot of this stuff, you know, you guys will use, you won't use, but it is there. Advanced setup. They do have skip blank pages in there. That's kind of a big one. So if you guys are doing, you know, a pretty big document and it's double-sided, it's going to skip that blank, that one page that maybe has the back with nothing on it. It's going to skip that page, which is good. So you guys might want to use that. I know that's been a pretty popular thing. And then you guys can add favorite buttons. That's in program at the end. So if there's a copy job that you guys have to do a lot of settings for and you don't want to have to put those settings in every time, you can program one-touch buttons to be able to do that. So if you, let's say you do all your settings and you do want to make that an add button, you just go into here and you hit add and you select whatever's free. I think number 8 would probably be free. They do have some presets in there. But you guys can add that one touch. And then when you go to make that copy again of that document that you have to set all those settings for, you can just hit that program button and it'll bring all those settings in for you. So you guys don't have to do it every time. So it's meant to try to speed things up and kind of streamline the process from you guys having to go into all those settings and make them every time. So, but guys, that is basically the copy features. And here I'll show you the home button always takes you guys back to that front screen. So if you guys go to home, it's going to take you back to the screen at the very beginning. So if you guys get into there and you kind of forget where you're at, always remember home button will take you back here. Next we'll go into send. I know this is a big one for you guys, and you guys have kind of been set up with this. So we'll kind of walk through it a little bit. But in your address book, you guys can add your Active Directory into the address book, which is a good thing. And it will be set for each school. So each school will have its own. As you guys go into the address book, you go address book, and you will say add address book. Actually, you guys want to search, is it? Let's see. Address book. Yeah. Oops. Just a second, guys. Sorry here. Oops. Okay. Where's that, Josh, to add an address book? Let me see here. Oops. Just a second, guys. We'll get you through this here. Okay. So guys, when you add your address book, you go add, and then if you want to add a contact, you guys can actually go into the name. You guys would add the name, and then as you do that, you'll save it, and you can add the emails as well. So as you go into here, you guys can actually add your one touches as well. So as you go into there, and you guys go add and edit your address book, you guys can actually add individual addresses in there for whoever you want. If you guys have specific ones that you send to all the time, you'll see that add and edit, and you guys will actually be able to enter the name and the email of addresses that you want in there specifically. And then if you guys want to add from your Active Directory, you guys will go exit address book, and you guys will want to hit OK, and it's going to search for it, and it'll find that address book. And as it's in there, so this is where you'll find your school Active Directory, you'll want to hit that and hit OK, and then you can actually add that Active Directory address book into your address list. So I'll do that again. As you guys go in, you'll want to go, you'll hit address book, you'll hit the drop down for address book, you'll extension address book 1, and then you'll hit OK from here, and it'll actually search, and then it's going to find your address book for your specific school. You'll highlight that and you'll hit OK, and then you can actually hit add machine address book. So it's going to actually add that into your address book from there. And then as you guys do that and you want to add, there's a lot of people that are going to use like one touches and stuff for the emails. So people that are using it all the time. So if like the front office staff, things like that are around the copier a lot that need to do a lot of scanning, you guys will want to go into the address book and go add address book, and you'll want to add a one touch key. So that's going to stick it right on the front page for you. You're around the copier a lot. So we've got 2 in there right now, Devin and myself. And then if you want to add one, you just go there. You'll say add, and you'll want to change the display name. So whatever you want that button name to be, you can put it in there, and then the actual destination. So it'll actually find you can find your address in the address book and make it a one-touch key. So guys, that's where you guys will add and adjust your Active Directory. So as addresses are pulled out of the Active Directory and put in, that will be adjusted by when you guys add it and stuff. So as your Active Directory is adjusted, your address book could be adjusted as well. So, and then when you guys get into the scanning, some of the scan settings are going to be the same as the copy settings, like the different size originals, that kind of stuff. You're going to have some of those same settings within scanning as well. It is set for auto color, so anything you scan will be in color. You can adjust your resolution right here. If you guys are doing like a picture or something like that, you need it to scan like in a higher definition, you can do that. And even the black and white machines will scan in color. So if you have a black and white device, it will scan in color for you. Density again is right there. That's just like copying. There's your two-sided. If you guys need to scan two-sided. And then you have your formats. So you have PDF, high comp PDF, TIFF, JPEG, whatever format you guys need to scan in. It's set for PDF compact by default. So as you guys see that, that's what you'll have. You can also adjust the image quality with the scan in the formats. So if you guys need to do that, you have that ability as well before you email it to yourself. Original send data, again, this is stuff you'll see on the copier as well. Mixed originals, original size. So this is basically setting up your scan when you guys go to do that. You'll see file format again, file separation. That question was brought up yesterday. So what that would do is if you had a document that had multiple pages in it, but you wanted to make each document its own scan, you would go file separation, and it's going to make each page its own document. So if you guys do need to do that, that came up yesterday in yesterday's demo. And then there is long original through the doc feeder. I think the longest it would go is 28 inches if you guys run any long originals. That's there. And then again, you guys have your density, your color selection, contrast, all those settings that kind of adjust an image if you guys need to do that in the color and image quality. Advanced setup, again, you have your zoom, continuous scan. That's if you scan something and then you need to add to it. So if you scan something in the dock feeder, and let's say there's a picture or something you need to add behind that, you can actually do a continuous scan, and then you can scan on the dock feeder as well. And you can keep scanning to that document until you're done, and then actually send it when you've completed scanning everything you want with that document. Program, again, you can add program scans just like you can add programs to the copier. If you can do add a one-touch in there that's programmed if you guys need to do that. And again, home takes you back to your home screen. I'll hit on these a little bit. Job box, that's actually scanning documents into the device itself. So it's like a digital filing cabinet, if you want to think of it that way. You guys can actually scan documents and actually have them save in the copier. So I can see more for front office staff if there's forms that you have to have parents sign as they come into the office, things like that. Instead of digging them out of a filing cabinet to find them, you can always just print one right out if it's in that job box. And I'll cover USB a little bit. So with USB, you can scan to and you can print from. So if you guys have a jump drive and you want the ability to do that, you guys have it. Jump drive is just right over here, located on the side of the device. But all you guys do is plug your jump drive in. And then, yeah, if you have something to print off of it, you can do that. Or if you want to scan to, you can also do that. But yeah, guys, that's about it. That's kind of all I had for the demo. If you guys have any questions or anything, let me know. But and again, we're always around. We're in Casper. If you guys need to call us, our number is on the front of the device on the sticker, and your ID number. Your ID number is very important. That actually gives us the location and everything we need to know about that device. So it actually keeps a history log. So if a tech was there and a new tech comes in, that new tech will know what has been done. So if you give that ID number when you call for a service call, that's big. So try to remember that. And then again, with the toners, waste toners and all that, your toners will ship out. When they hit 30% in the machine, you'll get a new toner that comes in the mail. So when it shows up, that doesn't mean necessarily you need to put it in right away. Just know you're starting to run low and have it close. But those will ship automatically, and we will automatically get meter reads as well. So you guys won't have to call on that. But yeah, guys, other than that, I know you guys are busy. You need to get back to school. So if you guys have any questions, let us know. If you have any questions later on, again, just call that number. And we've got guys around. Frederick, Devin, Jordan, Jesse. We've got guys that'll be there if you guys need help with anything. So, all right, that's all I've got. Thanks, guys.